Breaking news. The Buffalo Bills backstage is on fire. Something incredible is about to happen and you can't miss it. But before you continue, hit the like button if you believe the Bills have everything they need to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm 100% confident in this team. What about you? If you believe so too, leave a comment. Go Bills! I believe. Before we get to the point, I want to leave you with this little quote today. Just like the Buffalo Bills, who never give up, even when faced with the most difficult challenges, remember, perseverance and courage always pave the way for great victories. Don't give up. Something big is happening in Buffalo, and if you're a Bills fan, you need to hear this. What was just revealed could change the trajectory of the team this season, maybe even for years to come. But the details, they're shocking. Stick with me because by the end of this, you're going to have some serious opinions. Let's get right into it. Recent developments inside the Bills organization have sparked heated debates, both among fans and within the team itself. According to insider sources, key conversations behind closed doors are shaping the next phase of this franchise. And let me tell you, it's not just about roster moves. It's about the very identity of the Buffalo Bills moving forward. One of the biggest talking points revolves around the coaching staff's approach. There's a growing sense that certain decisions, whether about play calling, player rotations, or even team culture, are being questioned more than ever before. Some insiders suggest that tension is brewing with different factions in the organization pushing for conflicting strategies. And let's be real, after the highs and lows of recent seasons, it's easy to see why frustration might be creeping in. Then there's the player dynamic. Behind the scenes, certain figures in the locker room are stepping up in ways that might surprise you. Some veterans are reportedly taking on bigger leadership roles, even in ways that challenge the existing hierarchy. And here's where things get really interesting. Some of these shifts might not sit well with everyone. One source close to the team mentioned that a few players are voicing their concerns louder than before. Now, what exactly does that mean? Are we talking about frustration with coaching, discontent with certain teammates, or is it simply a case of passionate competitors pushing for greatness? That part isn't 100% clear yet, but one thing's for sure. The energy in Buffalo is shifting, and we're going to see the effects soon, whether on or off the field. And let's talk about a name that keeps coming up. One player who might be at the center of all this. Without giving away too much, I'll say this. If the reports are accurate, this player could have a major impact on how things play out.
Whether that means stepping up as a leader, changing roles within the team, or even, dare I say, potentially looking at future options beyond Buffalo, well, that's the part that has fans buzzing. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this tension a bad thing, or is it exactly what the Bills need? Sometimes, a little internal fire can push a team to the next level. Sometimes, shaking things up leads to the kind of breakthrough that turns a good team into a great one. So now, Bills Mafia, it's your turn. What do you think? Are these behind-the-scenes shakeups a reason for concern, or are they a sign that Buffalo is about to hit a new level of intensity? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is a conversation that every Bills fan needs to be a part of. And trust me, this story is far from over. Stay tuned, because things are just getting started. And just when you think you've heard it all, there's another layer to this story that could completely shift how we see the Bills heading into the next stretch of the season. Because beyond the locker room energy and coaching dynamics, there's something else brewing, something that could have a ripple effect far beyond Buffalo. I'm talking about how these internal moves are setting the stage for a major shift in the team's identity. Think about it. Over the past few years, the Bills have been seen as a powerhouse, a team on the brink of greatness, always knocking on the door of a Super Bowl run. But the reality? That door hasn't opened yet. And now, the pressure is mounting. Sources close to the organization suggest that certain veterans are beginning to feel the weight of expectations like never before. We're not just talking about players looking to prove themselves. This is about legacies. Players who have dedicated years to Buffalo, who have given everything to this team, are starting to ask, what will it take to get us over the hump? And this is where things get really intense. Because when top players start questioning the direction of the team, that creates a chain reaction. Some might see this as a wake-up call, a necessary push to demand more from everyone in the building. Others, well, they might see it as frustration boiling over, a sign that something needs to change before it's too late. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Could all of this lead to unexpected roster moves? A trade? A shocking release? If history has taught us anything, it's that the NFL is ruthless when it comes to business. And if Buffalo's front office feels like a shakeup is needed to keep this team in contention, don't be surprised if we see something drastic sooner rather than later. But let's flip it for a second. What if this is exactly the kind of fire the Bills need? We've seen teams in the past thrive under pressure, using internal conflicts and high expectations as fuel to take their game to the next level. level. Could this be Buffalo's turning point? Could this be the moment where the Bills stop being almost there and finally become the team to beat? One thing is certain, this is not just another season. This is a crossroads. How the Bills navigate these next few weeks could define the franchise for years to come. And you better believe, every single person in that locker room knows it. So again, Bills Mafia, I need to hear your thoughts. Are these behind-the-scenes tensions a necessary spark, or are we seeing the early signs of something bigger, a shift that could change this team in ways we never expected? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to stay locked in, because if this situation continues to develop, we'll be right here, breaking it down for you every step of the way. This is Buffalo football, high stakes, high drama, and no shortage of passion. Buckle up, things are about to get wild, and just when you think things might settle down, think again, because what's happening inside the Buffalo Bills organization right now isn't just about internal debates or locker room dynamics. It's about the bigger picture. It's about what this franchise is willing to do to finally break through the ceiling that's been holding them back. And if the whispers coming out of the team are true, we might be looking at some of the biggest moves in recent Bills history. Let's talk about the pressure. It's not just on the players, it's on the coaching staff, the front office, and even ownership. Buffalo isn't just expected to be good anymore. They're expected to win. And when a team with this much talent keeps falling just short, people start asking tough questions. Who's really leading this team? Are the right people making the right decisions? And, maybe the biggest question of all, how much longer does this core have before major changes happen? One thing that's become clear is that certain players are stepping up vocally, trying to rally the locker room. Leadership matters, especially in times like this. But the issue? Not everyone always agrees on how things should be done. And when you mix high expectations with different leadership styles, you get tension, you get emotional moments, and sometimes, you get conflict that spills over into something bigger. Now, let's be real, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some of the greatest teams in NFL history went through their fair share of internal battles before reaching their peak. But the difference? The great teams find a way to turn that tension into a championship mindset. They channel that frustration into something productive. And right now, the biggest question hanging over the Bills is whether they can do the same. Because make no mistake, this is a defining moment. The Bills are at a crossroads, and how they handle this situation could determine whether they finally reach the top or start falling behind in an AFC that's only getting more competitive. And here's where it gets really interesting, because if things don't turn around fast, the consequences could be massive. We're talking about possible shakeups that go beyond just the depth chart. Could key veterans start questioning their future in Buffalo? Could certain players demand more from the coaching staff or even from each other? And if the front office feels like something isn't working, could we see a blockbuster trade to shake things up before it's too late? This is the reality of the NFL. No team stays the same forever. And while the Bills have built something special over the past few years, the window to win a championship doesn't stay open forever. They know it, the fans know it, and the rest of the league, they're watching closely to see how Buffalo responds to this moment. So let's bring it back to you, Bills Mafia, because at the end of the day, this team is nothing without its fans. What do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Is this just a rough patch that the Bills will overcome, or is this the beginning of something bigger, a major turning point in the franchise? Drop your thoughts in the comments.